Hi, this is Suzanne Wachtel, and today I want to talk about finding your sexy, and when you find it, waking it up. So what that means is it's about really tapping into intimacy. It's about finding your sexy again. So many of us have kind of gone quiet and silent and into our phones and computers, and really the detachment from face to face and touch and being present is so apparent. So in my practice, I do work with a lot of couples. I work with individuals that are single and have relationships, and I do also work with couples. And it is shocking how many couples are not having intimacy. They are not making love. They are not being playful. They are not treating each other as a boyfriend and girlfriend. It's become like a roommate situation. It's become like the sexy's gone. And it's so difficult. Once that intimacy is out of a relationship, that sexual chemistry, that connection, that playfulness, that attraction, and the pillow talk. Pillow talk is very powerful. And when you're intimate with someone, it doesn't have to necessarily be sex, intercourse, but just intimacy, touch, hold, playfulness, affection, even holding hands, snuggling. It could be as simple as that. Once that part of your relationship is gone, a lot of things start to fall apart. So finding your sexy today is not so much about the act of sex. It's about finding that part of you. We're all sexual beings, all of us. We're wired that way so that we as human beings can reproduce and we can attach. And that is part of our normal, healthy wiring. So tapping into it again is very important and very powerful. How do you start? So a couple comes to me and they're telling me they haven't been intimate in a couple of years. Sometimes it goes as long as a couple of years. And the longer it goes, the more difficult it is to really reconnect. Years ago, I had a couple that came to me that had not been intimate, had sex or even like snuggled or basically touched each other for 20 years. And now they decided they wanted to work out the relationship. And it was like starting over, beginning again. They had to start to date. They had to start to court one another. And eventually, with the focus in mind that they did love each other, they just had become very separate as human beings. They did find the intimacy and the love again, and they've been happy ever since. That was 10 years ago. So when a couple comes in and they're telling me they're having issues, one of the first questions I ask is, how is your sex life? How is your intimacy? Do you have it? How often? If not, why? And what is going on? What is keeping you from connecting in that way? Many couples complain about the phone. Believe it or not, this cell phone thing is a huge problem, because instead of making eye contact and communicating and connecting, many people are addicted to the darn phone. And even at a beautiful dinner, they're on their phone instead of engaging with the food, engaging in the conversation, engaging with their partner or their companion or their friends. So I would say the phone is an issue. Limiting and having boundaries around the telephone. At night, when you sit down to watch a show together, perhaps, maybe spend 10-15 minutes beforehand, really on purpose, talking, connecting, sharing, and being one-on-one with one another. The next thing is, the reason people have affairs is because their needs are not being met. So you go to work, you go to the gym, you go to yoga, you go somewhere, and someone now starts to notice you and pay attention to you and make you feel sexy and desired. You haven't had that in so long, you're attracted to it. And even without consciously wanting to cheat on your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, you may, because that is a chemistry, that is a natural desire. So what I try to teach couples is keep that boyfriend-girlfriend relationship alive. You need to at least have one date. I don't care if you have no children, 4 dogs, 10 children. You need to date one another. You need to go on dates alone, not with a group of friends. You need to try new places. The dates do not have to be expensive. You could go to the beach. You could take a walk. You could have a picnic. But you must go on dates. You must connect with each other and compliment one another. Like, wow, you look beautiful. Or, oh my God, your skin is so soft. Like, you have to continue complimenting one another, especially when you notice things about the other person that you actually like and admire. One of my jokes with my husband is I'll look at him and say, wow, you're so handsome. If I didn't know you, I'd actually want to date you. That's my little joke. It is a job. At times life gets in the way. There's financial problems. There's personal problems. There's health issues that come up. But if you want to get through these ups and downs in life and in a relationship, you must keep the courtship alive, the sexy alive. Dress for your partner. You know what? Buy some nice pajamas and lingerie. Men too. You know what? Wax, shave, do things that will turn the other person on. Try to do some overnights. Going to a hotel is always an arousal because there's no distractions or children, and you're kind of alone and private, if you don't take out your phone, that is. And be playful. Being playful, flirtatious. Call your wife, call your husband, call your boyfriend, girlfriend. Tell them, flirt with them. Flirting is a wonderful thing. I remember my grandmother, who was a little Jewish lady from Pittsburgh, saying that she and Grandpa sometimes role played. Like, went to a bar, a restaurant, let's say, and he'd walk in after and pretend he didn't know her, and they would flirt and pretend they were like picking each other up. And maybe that sounds strange to you, but it kept them excited and connected and sexually aroused by one another. So nothing is wrong if you both adults agree to it. Nothing is shameful. It's all healthy, good stuff. And when your sexy is back in action and things are going well, then it's time to find some things that are interesting. Routine can be a little boring. There's an old but good movie, in my opinion. It's an old one. It's soft porn, not anything pornographic like gross. It's actually it's Kim Basinger, and she was very young at the time, and Mickey Rourke when he was young and attractive back in the day. And they're playing games, sexually arousing games, and turning one another on. And they use in the movie, they use ice, and they use food, and they use blindfolds and sensations. Back to the mindfulness, waking up your sensations, like hearing a compliment, feeling a soft touch, looking at someone who's attractive to you, getting yourself maybe in an outfit that's sexually appealing to your partner, turns them on. These are all wonderful things that are so necessary to get your sexy back, to keep it hot, to keep it intimate, and to keep your relationship alive. And it's interesting, a lot of couples will say to me, he wants sex every day, and I don't. Well, often what happens with couples is sometimes the libidos are off. One libido is more into it than the other, and neither one is right or wrong. But if somebody wants sex every day and the other partner really is only sexually interested a few times a week, there can be compromises, but that could be a little bit of a challenge. So if your desire is a little different, then you have to kind of compromise with your partner. Keep them happy, but if your partner isn't as interested, then you need to be respectful of that too. And maybe do something different in between which is intimate, like snuggling or taking a walk and holding hands. So all of it is good. Kissing is very, very intimate, sometimes more than sex. Kissing, touching, a massage, just playing and getting to know one another's bodies with oils and touch. Touch is wonderful. Putting on an eye mask, an eye cover, will just help your sensation feel even more aroused. So there are many, many ways to get your sexy back. And I feel that this is a super important topic that we all need to talk about without embarrassment, without discomfort, because it's super important, it's healthy, it's normal, and it's necessary to keep your relationship alive. On that note, I will say, have a beautiful day, and I hope that you find your sexy and you get it back into action, whatever that looks like. Take care. Bye-bye.